Next one we have, it's question mark.
Uh-oh.
We're kind of in our question mark era here. Market Man.
Market Man. Da-ba-doo-ba-doo-ba-boop-ba-boop.
This is mine and Ethan's month-long January project.
Yeah, and it's like gonna be done at the end of January.
Yeah, it's gonna be done.
It's gonna be done.
It's gotta be done. So Market Man is, how can I say this? Let me tell you guys how we've been doing things. And those of you who are running dialed and larger companies are going to be like, idiots. And then those of you who are running similarly sized or smaller companies are going to be like, wait, that's the wrong way of doing things. What software does it take to run a coffee business, a coffee conglomerate? Today, we figured that out and actually listed all together, our entire tech deck.
It's a tech deck.
To see how much we're spending on software. Well, I don't even think we got the total. I don't even want to know.
I don't want to know the total.
We don't want to know the total.
Don't tell me.
I'm going to actually figure it out after this. But Ross was asked recently what software we tend to use to make this thing happen.
Right.
As we've grown to more locations and more businesses, like with our roastery, we've had to think of strategic ways to grow our company without hiring a ton of people, because this is a low profit margin business for most of us out there. And a lot of ways we do that is through software that helps us be more efficient with our time, or through automation, which also helps us be more efficient with our time. So if you want to see what we use, ChatGPT, Zapier, Basecamp, how we schedule shifts, this is the episode for you. I want to give a shout out to Localize Growth. We speak about them more later in the program, but they've really helped us dial in our SEO, and they can help you as well. And you'll get a free backlink, a $300 value. Localizegrowth.com/Valor. Also, if you are in the market for Malkonig, Eureka, Anfum grinders, or heck, any other coffee gear for your coffee cart or coffee business, check out Clive Coffee. Use code VALOR5. You get 5% off those products, those brands that I just mentioned. Plus, it supports the program. That's all. Let's go.
Let's get it. Let's go.
Right here, right now, the Valor Coffee Podcast is back with a riveting episode about, you guessed it, software.
No, don't leave. Don't leave. Don't turn it off. We're playing
It's
around.
good.
Come
It's
on.
good. It's good.
It's good for you. Good for us.
Ross, word is that this was spurred on by a conversation you had with someone yesterday.
That's right.
They said, what software do you guys use?
Yeah. Someone opening a cafe out in Alabama, and we're helping him with some wholesale stuff. And he just asked that great question. And I was like, man, I'm so excited to share what apps we use. Because if all your information is just living in your brain, then you're going to forget stuff. And so, yeah, I'm excited to jump into it.
Very nice.
Who's this for? Who are we
It's
helping
for
here?
us.
It's for us. Is an episode
This one's
for us?
for the boys. The boys meaning us.
Yeah. Well, I'm just saying because, we're not every coffee shop out there. We are a roastery. We are a multimedia
We're a podcast company.
Conglomerate,
Yeah.
we're podcast. So there's going to be some stuff. And Riley just did, such a good job organizing and laying out all of our different things. And I think we got a pretty fun way to share it with you. Right?
Yes, sir.
It might get a little cold.
Yeah, it might get a little frosty in here because
You'll see.
dropping so much ice bombs,
Kind of like Trae Young last night.
like icicles.
43 points.
Let's go. All right, you guys just want to dive right in?
Let's do it.
What are you? Are we going with the the you don't have tos right now?
Yeah, we're calling that like it.
We're doing
Okay.
the like
We got
it's.
3 categories: like it, love it,
Gotta have it. Let's go.
So we're gonna start with the like it's, which again, there's no negative connotation to any of these categories, because if it was, we would just cancel the software.
Right. Yeah. And I guess to contrast it with gotta have it, like gotta have it is like it's such an integral part of your operation that if you didn't have it, your business would not run.
Yeah.
Whereas like it is like it adds convenience or enjoyment.
And there are, just to that point, there are some things in gotta have it that we could drop. Like we could write down all of our notes on a pencil on a piece of paper.
Sure.
But
once you
it's not
get
realistic.
Yeah. Once you get integrated into a way of doing things and you build hours and hours and hours of work around something, like to to get that out of your deck, if you will, is really, really tough.
Totally. All right. Well, let's just start from the top. First up, barista hustle.
Right.
Yeah. I think we've been subscribed for a couple years.
Yeah, 2 to 3 years now. They just have a lot of educational coffee courses. And obviously we kind of put it in like it because like we are starting to like slowly build out our own courses and training material, which is a gift. But honestly, they're probably just a little bit more niche on some topics that it might just be a while until we get to like, specifically a buyer's guide to Guatemala, everything you need to know about Colombia. It's like a full class or
get Sam in there.
Yeah. Oh, hey. And that's why I think it's like it. It's like, man, I think we like keeping it around because especially, different side of it, but maybe someone's, we do the pay bands thing. And it's like, man, hey, I'm making this much right now. I want to make this much. How can I get a raise? And I'm like, you know what? I think let's try to elevate our skills. Like, can you like put some dog in you and like take this course, and get back to me.
Yeah.
And then boom, you just made yourself more valuable to your guests, your team, by like getting a more depth and wealth of knowledge about Java. So it's a nice thing to have around. It's not like everybody's always just like talking about their barista hustle classes,
Yeah.
but it's nice.
Well, yeah. When we conclude with a topic, we'll have like a little card. I'm sure Grayson would love to put it up. So like it can be like me, like it. And then love it. You can look at the camera and do like a heart hands. And then gotta have it. Yes. Perfect. All right.
Yeah.
So this one is like it. All right. Next up. This one's going to blow your minds. Okay.
I'm ready.
Instagram verified. Meta verified for business.
Oh.
Okay.
Curveball.
Should we talk about cost?
Costs? Oh,
Like
yeah. Sorry. Barista Hustle. It's like $100 a month.
Oh,
jeez.
For the team platform. Yeah.
I take back everything I said.
Now, what is training worth? I will say that price tag is always worth it to me if one person is utilizing it. Now, there are plans where you could just do one person. It'd be a lot cheaper. But
sure,
there's also been times where multiple people are using it. So it's expensive.
Okay.
$100 a month is a lot of money.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That reminds me, I don't want this to be a tangent, but like the difference between personal dollars and business dollars spent. You guys think about that?
Sure.
Like $100 a month for
that's
something.
Like cable. And like, that's why people don't have cable because that's insane.
What do you mean?
$100 a month.
Yeah.
Oh,
like if you had an apartment and you're like, I want TV.
Yeah.
You're like, oh, it's going to be $100
to watch. Like,
never mind.
To watch the news.
Just running the whole time.
Ooh, hey, what's up?
I'm just saying like $100 for something personally is like, dang, you better be using that every minute of every day.
Yeah.
Or like, it's like a car. That's not a car payment. It's a low car payment. You know what I'm saying though? But for a business, $100 a month for 2 cafes and a roastery, that many employees is not as much.
More palatable. Yeah. That's the thing to remember. I think you kind of said it a little bit up top, but like we split this amongst a lot of these costs amongst 3 companies.
Yeah.
So,
we got a team of 30 something. So.
Yeah.
Totally. And that's why we didn't start with a lot of these softwares.
Yeah, it's true. We didn't.
The vast majority. So Instagram verified.
Yeah. What is that?
So it's the blue check thing. And the reason we have it is not for the blue check. It's for the account security. And if your account ever gets hacked or you get locked out, you have a much more direct line of communication with Instagram. You have this like safety security code that you can call and give them to where you can get back into your account basically the same day.
You got a direct line to Zuck.
Yeah.
How much that cost?
It's a lot.
Really?
It's a lot of money. Yeah. It's like $800 a year.
Jeez.
But
I mean, I guess like it's kind of like an insurance policy.
yes, exactly.
Yeah.
And you got to think like when we post something new on our Instagram, like we sell product through that.
Yeah.
So to not have that, to not have access to it, or worst case scenario, to have to start over from scratch. Nah, that would be
That's a
lot
huge
of
loss.
lost leads. So
That's something that, and this is fun because there's 3 of us, and we're definitely going to get into a zone of like, you guys use a lot of things because of your work, but like, I wouldn't think about that. I would probably see that number and be like, I just want to do it. But I'm like, honestly, the ripple effect of not having that and then getting, an account hacked or whatever, getting logged out, and you're just like stuck, that costs you more than $800 real quickly.
Exactly. Insurance. All right. Next up on this.
So that's a like it.
Sorry. Like it.
Nice.
Next up, better reports. Okay. This is a very new one for me. It is an app for Shopify. It's boring. I'll be quick with it. The reason we have this is that it lets you auto schedule report exports and like send them to yourself with email, which is going to allow us to create automations from that, which is we'll get into that more later.
A future theme.
So you get to do that. And then you also get to sort, you can pull what's called meta object data from your Shopify product. So for us, like all of our pink boxes have a meta field called pink. So you can pull that into a column to where you can have whereas you can't do that in Shopify standard reports. So I can run a count of all pink boxes for the day that are needed to go out. And so talking about automations, like the plan currently, our roastery squad has to come in and then just export all the orders and then manually look through and be like, okay, then in their head, they're like, okay, this one's pink box. I'm going to add this to the pink box tally.
Interesting.
So now whenever we're able to sort everything by that field specifically, it's going to save and then run it into an automation. They're going to come in and the queue is going to be done for them automatically on roast days.
Riley.
So that's just one example of why we use something like that, but it's pricey.
Really?
$120 a month.
$120 a month.
Yeah.
You're saving, if you roast every day, which we're heading that way.
At least
we are doing
from
that.
all the things that they have to use reports
that
could be automated, that's going to save at least 45 minutes a day.
Yeah.
Of someone's time.
Yeah.
Let's just say an hour and about 5 hours and then, 20 something hours. It's like that. You're paying it off pretty quick.
Yeah.
And that's probably, all of this comes with a cost benefit analysis.
CBA.
Yep.
So you got to run a classic CBA on this.
Well,
and then that's just one use case of how this is going to be used.
Simply, yeah.
And then beyond that, it's just even for me and my financial analysis. So also you'll be able to export and then look at inventory based on that box count field. That's another thing. And then just the reporting process itself is just much easier, enjoyable, etc. for me using their reports.
When you're having fun.
Yeah.
Do you think that there's firms that set up apps for people? Like all these different apps. If you were starting from scratch in your business and you're like, I don't even know what apps to get. There's a firm that knows all the best apps and sets up your company with them.
Yes.
It takes so much time.
In fact, we know someone who has talked about
really
starting a business about that. That might be some keep it off the record type information.
Right. But we are recording right now.
Yes.
Yeah, I get it.
So next up, all right. Sorry, better reports. Like it.
Good.
Maybe gonna love it. Maybe gotta have
we'll
it.
let y'all know.
It might be gotta have it. Once you have it onboarded.
But I got it 2 weeks ago.
Right.
So I like it right now. All right. First up in our next category, Notion.
Oh boy.
Notion is the app that I'm looking at right now for this podcast.
It does a lot.
It's a notes app. It's a project planning app. It's
anything you really want it to be.
Kind of like spreadsheet almost, calendar.
Yes. It's got it all. It's database based database based notes app. That's what it really is.
Yeah. So what that means is like a database, just as an example, if you what's something that you've put in your database that Notion pulls from?
Podcast episodes.
Okay. So obviously we plan these out really far in advance.
Months in advance.
And so we can plan them out in this database and attach notes and files and all this stuff to the topic.
Nest databases inside it. That's what I'm doing right now. It's like,
Yeah.
because every database cell is a page. It's another page. If that makes sense. It's crazy.
How I use it is I have I don't even know what it's called, like a project in there called My Work. And I have just a 3-step like a table in there that's like it's a queue for different projects that I could do, I want to do at some point. And then I have a part of it that's like in progress projects, and I have a side that's like done once I'm done with the project. And then you can attach notes and to-dos and all the stuff in each of those projects.
Yeah.
That's how I use it. And it's my notes app too.
Yeah. Totally. I use it similarly.
But like a lot more advanced.
No, I mean, I'm not going to say that.
It's also really team friendly.
Yeah.
So like you can mention people on your team and like tag them with stuff.
Mm-hmm.
But it's not user friendly at first.
Oh, no. The setup process it's tough.
Yeah.
I was stressed out getting it set up for a couple weeks. And it's like, is it all worth it? And I think that's the reason that it's in the love it category and not the gotta have it category.
Well, it's so close in my mind to being almost like a base camp. You know, like the way you're talking about, like, oh, it's got like a card table kind of feature. Oh, it's got like you can tag people, track things
for sure.
But it's not like a communications app.
Yeah. A lot of people use Notion and Slack together because there's a lot of like Slack integration stuff you can do with Notion, and like you can show your Slack stuff on certain pages and so on and so forth. So I think that's the thing. It's like we probably aren't like super optimized, where we probably should just choose between Basecamp or Slack plus Notion plus Google Drive, I guess. But
interesting.
We obviously don't do that. But yeah, Notion, we have it in love it category. It probably leans gotta have it for me because I'm
you're in deep.
So in deep. Like if my data was wiped from it, I would be literally devastated. Like, it has a lot of my like financial planning, personal stuff in it. Has all of my Valor projects, like for the website. It's kind of scary that I rely on one company and their servers to hold that much.
Yeah.
So Notion, if you're watching,
maybe they have a nice print feature. So next time you're here,
just print it all.
Just print it all out.
Get a
hard copies.
Hard copies.
Yeah, stuff it
put it in
under
a binder.
Wow.
Yeah, put it in a binder. Notion, love it.
All right. This one is newer for us. I would say that this is kind of Ross's baby. I also enjoy it, but and then the possibilities are endless. And I think that's what happens with some of this software, is that's kind of daunting. And it's like, what's it called? Something paralysis.
Analysis paralysis?
What does that mean?
It means you're analyzing a bunch of different stuff about what to do, but because you're focusing on analyzing it, you don't do anything.
Yes, that's how I feel about this one. And that's how I felt about Notion at the beginning.
Yeah.
I really feel that way about Zapier.
Yeah. Zapier is a...
Oh, wait, sorry. Quickly on Notion. Notion for us as a team is like $500 a year.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Zapier is an automation tool that connects apps to each other and triggers events happening between the apps. At least that's how I use it. It's probably, you can use it for a bunch of different stuff.
I think that's the best descriptor.
You did such a good job.
Yeah, thanks. So here's an example of how I use Zapier. We have a form on our website on our wholesale page, where if you go to our wholesale page, you enter in some basic information about your business. And I have a Zap. We call them Zaps.
Yeah,
guys.
you shorten it up.
Don't they also call them Zaps?
Yes.
Okay.
We like the Zapier community.
Like us and
Zap heads.
Zap heads. So you can, it's like an if-then trigger, if you will. Like, if this happens, then do this.
If this, then that.
If this, then that.
It's kind of like, that's what it was the company that came before Zapier.
Yeah, but their tag on it is if this, then Zap.
Right. That was pretty good. So you fill out the form on the website. Zapier takes that information and automatically inputs it into my CRM. We'll get to that later. In case you don't know, CRM means customer relationship management.
And we don't like to use the word management, but
and it's a database. It's a tool
to manage your customer relations.
Yes.
Ships.
I think that's the
relationships.
idea. But yeah, so like we all have this friend that has this super, the three of us have the same friend. We don't have to disclose his name or what his job is. He works remotely for this really huge company. And I
know where this is going.
Yeah. So I was talking to him about his job the other day. Like, what do you do for this huge company? And he was describing me his job. And I was like, dude, you could zap your whole job. I hate to say it, but like that's a good thing.
Yeah. Especially with coming up ChatGPT. It's like,
yes,
like email comes in, zap, feed it to ChatGPT, custom GPT you made with prompts.
Yeah.
It's like,
well, yeah. Zapier is like the glue of a bunch of different apps that we'll talk about.
The middleman.
Yeah, it's the middleman. So like another example, we'll talk about these apps later, but when I do a Zoom call, I've started recording them and
letting people know.
This call is being recorded for quality assurance. And so I get the transcript afterwards. I need to set up a Zap for this because I bet I could. But like you set up a Zap where at the end of a Zoom call, Zapier reads the transcript and puts that transcript into a GPT called Meeting Minutes. I found a GPT that like summarizes meetings. And it automatically does it, puts it into the GPT. Zapier then takes that summary of the meeting minutes and the key takeaways, imports that into your to-do app, and then all of a sudden you just got to-dos from. Now that one's a little lofty. I don't know if I could pull it off.
You could pull it off.
You can do anything.
There's like the Ross side of Zapier where it's like pretty user friendly, and then there's like the coding side of Zapier where you actually have to like know stuff about
like webhooks,
etc.
Nice
stuff like that.
Because yeah, that's the whole point of Zapier. No code solution to API calls.
Yeah,
because that's what you're doing. That's what people used to do before things like Zapier existed, where it's like a user-friendly interface to do all these things. You would do an API call, which is like the coding way of talking with software from the back end.
Yeah. When it comes to automation, how I think about it is the way I set up automation is it allows me to focus on the right things. Like there's a point where automation goes too far. Like, like even on the VCC, the Valor Coffee community, our online platform, we have this automated message that gets sent to people when they sign up. And it's from me. And it says like, welcome to the community. So glad you're here, whatever. And it like shows them, it points them to our like welcome and getting started page. And some people, when they reply to it, they're like, this was probably an automated message, but thank you. And I reply to that. And I'm like, yeah, it was an automated message, but this isn't. Thanks for joining. But so people can tell when it's automated, and I don't like that. But there's zaps that you can set up to where it kind of like tees it up for you. So like I can, whenever somebody sends an email to me, I have an auto-generated email that goes to my drafts. So then I can look at my drafts in my email and like customize it and like actually make it my own. But when you're sending the same emails over and over, it saves a lot of time.
Sure.
To like tee it up for you is my point. And that allows you to focus on more personal things, on more human things, instead of just like spending all your time typing.
I'm going to need your guys' help with the hiring.
Dude, you could
zap.
You could make some insane zaps.
Dog.
That's what I'm saying. It could be a full-time job for someone to just make zaps for this company for like months. That would make the company run better. And what you're saying is like, that's where me and you kind of push back on each other. Is you're like, there's a point where a zap goes too far, but I'm like, Is it better for it to be a zap, or is it better for it to not to happen at all?
Right. Because if everyone joins the community and doesn't get a message, because that means that anytime anyone joins the community, you have to be like,
Yes.
hey,
It's like-
Tyler,
yeah.
thanks for joining, man. And it's like, when are you going to be doing that?
Yeah.
It's like the argument of if you have a to-do in your to-do list every month on the same day to buy your wife flowers, is that like disingenuous? And I'm like, at least you're buying your wife flowers, you know?
Sure. And on top of that,
Better than not doing it at all.
yeah. Yeah. And also like knowing your limits, knowing your weaknesses. Like if you don't naturally think to buy your wife flowers, like that's probably something that you could grow in. But like, hey, in the meantime, get someone called your phone to remind you to do that.
Yeah. It's all matter of the heart, honestly.
Yes. And I'm sorry.
No, I'm sorry. Do you want me to continue?
Yes, please.
I was talking to Sam about, what you were talking about with meeting minutes. And I'm like, it is such a gift to not have to be typing on your computer or writing notes when you're having a
why I do it.
conversation.
Yeah.
I'm like, dude, you can lock in.
Yeah.
You don't have to be like,
Yeah, you give less to the meeting whenever you are thinking about the fact you have to take notes.
I think there's also just dedicated apps that from the get-go do this that you guys should look into.
I'm sure there is.
Because then you could probably run your automations out of that and it would be a little more clean.
I'm like straw manning it a little bit with all these different apps.
And that's kind of what you fall into when you know Zapier is there. Sometimes you like overcomplicate things.
100%.
And then it's like I was thinking about this the other day. I was like, okay, I need to do this Zap where like someone orders in Shopify and then like it sends a Zap and like does this and then this and this and this. And I was like, wait a second, that's just like what the newsletter app does.
In Shopify.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
I've noticed that for sure.
all right. Gotta keep it moving. Zapier, we have like one account right now. It's $20 a month. There's like team platforms that we'll probably eventually move to that are a little more, like $60 a month, but $20 a month.
Zapier. Love it.
Love it. All right.
Ross loves
These
it.
next two will be really quick. They're like video editing related things. Epidemic sound. Whenever you post videos on YouTube or Instagram, you have to use like, what's it called? Copyright friendly stuff. Like you can't just like
Oh, the music and stuff.
put a Post Malone song as your background music.
You have to pay rights to
You
that.
kind of can now that Instagram and like Reels is a thing.
Right.
But you can't do that on a business account. It's complicated.
Really?
So,
Could you just like tag the song or something?
no. And here's the thing.
Just
When you
tag
do
the
that,
song.
especially when you do that on YouTube, like you can do that, but then you can't monetize the video. You can't make ad money from it.
We can't share it with
And
Malone.
we make like
I mean,
$100 a month on YouTube, you know?
we gotta get one steak for that, man.
So yeah, this allows you and like sound effects, like boing, like you can do like that kind of stuff.
And you pay monthly for
Like Grayson, put in some sound effects right here, like crash, like yeah, like that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
And like it's just like, music, instrumental music, that kind of stuff.
How much does it cost?
It's $25 a month.
Epidemic sound. Love it.
Love it. I guess. It's probably like it, but anyways. All right, next up. Speaking of, okay, you guys aren't going to like this. You're going to like it. It's fine. Every week, podcast, okay? Grayson edits the podcast. He sends me the podcast. I take the podcast, I put it into an app called Descript.
What?
There's probably other ways to do this, and that's why it's love it and not gotta have it. There's a lot of like transcription type of stuff. I put it into Descript. It transcribes it and then also puts under like into text with our names and like who's talking at a given time. I copy that transcript. I post it into my podcast GPT on ChatGPT, and it gives me back a description.
Nice.
Yeah. So that's literally how I used Descript in the past. Whenever I was doing more editing, I would also use Descript for captions, and Lyndon still does for captions for Instagram Reels.
So it just transcribes video content.
Yes, and lets you do like auto captions, like very smart stuff. And then their big selling point, and I didn't really use it like this, you can also edit your video by like deleting words from the transcription. Like that's how you can edit.
Oh.
So it's like you have your video on the right, long list of text on the left, and you can like delete words and it'll delete clips from the video.
That's why I've never seen talking on the podcast. You keep redacting my stuff.
Yeah.
You're censoring me, bro. You gotta let me shine.
Since I'm editing the podcast.
Oh wait, yeah, Grayson, you're redacting my content.
Grayson?
You gotta let me shine. Hey, Descript, love it.
Love it. It's $30 a month.
Oh.
Yeah. All right. So it's in Love It because I did like using it when we used it, but now it's no longer necessary for us. 1Password. When you are a larger company with, well, not larger, but you know what I mean. When you get larger and you need to share passwords amongst a lot of people, you have to stop using that password that you used when you first started. It's not safe. It's a bad idea. So 1Password allows you to use complex passwords and then to instantly be able to get them amongst a team. Apple, in like their most recent software iterations, they have made a password app that just replaces 1Password. And that's what Apple does.
Oh,
That's what they
sorry,
do.
1Password.
Apple and Google.
it's free on Apple. Oh,
because 1Password was like $40 or $60 a month.
my heart goes out to the 1Password community.
So yeah, I'm sure that there's some 1Password stands who are going to be like, no, but it still
It's better.
does this and that.
I'm sure.
And I'm sure it will.
Like 1Password, one thing it has over the Apple one is you can share credit cards in 1Password. I don't think that you can do that with the Apple one. But
Yet.
yeah. So 1Password, love it. We'll miss you. Next up, Expensify.
Dun, dun, dun.
Everyone's favorite app.
The bane of my existence.
Why?
I'm just kidding.
Oh.
Because everyone hates it so much that they don't use it.
I feel like the world hates expense reporting.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's just because I buy simple, like non-splitting items, but it's just kind of simple for me.
Everyone hates it because it's not the objective of their main job. It's the objective of no one's main job except for the person who has to input the expense reports into QuickBooks.
And they don't typically need to do expense reports. Like
That's kind of true.
we're like teeing up that person's job.
Yeah, totally. Yeah, because that's the thing, dude. Like I did my expense report on Monday. It took me 6 minutes, I think.
Yeah. But you buy something, you got the receipt, and then you can either take a picture of it with Expensify and it'll read it for you and input the data. Or if you've been emailed a receipt on the internet,
Right.
you can forward that to receipts at expensify.com.
Love that.
And it'll read it for you. And then you just have to categorize it.
Yeah.
Yeah. I will say getting behind is hard.
That is very true.
When you're behind and you're like, I think there's a receipt in my bag at home.
Mm-hmm.
I think there's a receipt in my car. And you're like,
yeah, you gotta be on top of
it
it
can kind of stress you out.
or it gets brutal. And then you do take a lot of time away from your normal job.
Yeah.
So it's a necessary. I mean, the whole point is once you get your books dialed in, you want to categorize things correctly so you can properly track all of your expenses and where your money goes as you try to budget for a business. Expensify helps you do that because you put the burden on the people who made the purchase, who know the most about it, rather than your bookkeeper.
Right.
So,
and you were saying, off air, like months ago in podcast prep, one thing we're learning is that there might be some apps or things that you can kind of start putting things together, like a banking app might start doing expense reporting.
yeah,
Then you don't need Expensify.
Totally. And I think that might happen for us soon because we're kind of shifting our banking around.
And there's something to that. Jack be nimble, Jack be quick. Jack jump over Expensify when you realize that it's outdated.
Yeah.
I feel like, and you do such a good job of that with our company, is like always keeping your finger on the pulse of like, is this still helpful? Should we still be on this? Do we need to switch it up? So thanks for letting us know whenever our bank lets us do expense reports. Just want to thank you for that.
Thank you.
In the future.
All right. I just moved one. Expensify. Love it. It's $80 a month. Yeah.
And then the bank, it would probably be free.
It would be free. Yeah.
Kind of like a 1Password Apple situation.
Well, they're lending your money out to other people out from underneath you. So is it free?
Is it free?
Yeah.
And that's why we do all cash.
Yep. I just moved one from Love It back to Like It.
No.
I didn't mean to classify it as Love It in the first place. You guys don't use it. Microsoft Office. Okay.
I've never touched that.
Like Excel, Word, PowerPoint. I only have it so that whenever I'm sent or whenever I export Excel sheets, I can quickly open them on my computer without uploading them to Google Sheets. Like if I export a report from somewhere and I just need to like open it and get the dirty information like real quick without formatting it.
What's on these spreadsheets, bro?
Get the dirty numbers.
You
dude.
meant the quick and dirty.
The quick and
That's
dirty
the
numbers. It's like, because that's how I use it. I download the file, I open it, I copy, and I like close Excel, and then I go back into Sheets.
You get the heck out of there.
Yeah, because it's so bad compared to Sheets.
How much does Microsoft Office cost?
$8 a month. It's like $99 a year. So I'm like $8 a month for me to be able to save. It's some time. It takes some
I
time.
do see you opening Excel, and I'm always like, he has Microsoft Office?
Yeah.
There you go.
Time is money.
Time's money. Like it. Next up, where were we? Expensify. Oh, okay. This one, Loom.
Oh.
Loom is cracked.
Yeah. Loom.
I've
I had
started
it in
Looming.
Love It. Ross, would you lean? Gotta have it. I put Love It because you can just screen record, you know?
But you don't have the nice little avatar in the. That's
Sure.
That's what I love about Loom.
Yeah. I don't use that a ton. You do because you're talking about looms that you're like sending to people where you're like, you have to have the persona of Ross.
Right. Yeah. Well, it makes
For
it
me,
more
it's just
personal.
like, all right, Lyndon,
Here's how you do that. Yeah. Yeah. But you're screen recording and it's also recording you with the camera on the laptop explaining something.
Yeah.
So like the other day, I was trying to get signed up for TSA pre-check. And you sent me a Loom that was like, here's how you do it. And it was really helpful.
You loved it?
I loved it. I followed it and I signed up for TSA pre-check successfully.
Man, that's like a completely different category of this. That's what's funny. I did yours for you.
Thank you. That just shows the level of like tech trust. You know, it's like Ross can learn, but Riley just does a lot of my stuff.
I have their socials memorized. I have pictures of their license.
Dude, I gotta say on your good side, you ruined my life.
Got it all. I've got it
We
all.
can definitely ruin each other's lives.
And that's
Can't say I haven't thought about it.
That's business, baby. That's kind of a different conversation. Is like,
I'm gonna ruin this guy's
it's kind of
life.
funny. So Loom, are you saying gotta have it on Loom?
I'm not there yet.
No. Okay.
I'm not there yet.
All right, Loom. It's $20 a month. Have you moved up to, or do you just use mine?
I use yours.
Okay.
The only Loom that I have active in my deck is
Your Loom deck?
When just like my life. That's
Yeah.
what I call.
Your deck.
Your life is your Loom deck.
Anyways,
Y'all stick with us. Come on.
when a new wholesale partner is onboarded, they are sent a Loom showing them how to place their first order.
Yeah.
On our website. So yeah,
That's correct.
It's amazing.
Loom, love it.
Loom.
$20.
Love it. I was gonna say. Oh,
just another note, if that's cool. Like, yes, I could call them and explain to them how to place their first order. Yes, I could, like, it's just that balance of like personal touch versus like, it's a CBA situation.
Well,
You know?
Ross, I think the benefits just clearly outweigh the cost because they have you and they have you whenever they want you. You know,
Yeah.
one call,
that's all.
that's all is all they get, as in like, oh, what did he say about editing my order? What did he say about
Right.
what happens when I want to change something? I can just click on this. I can go to my Loom deck or they'll go to their personal Loom deck and find your video. That's cracked.
Heck,
It's cracked.
we should just embed that Loom video onto the account profile of wholesale accounts at the bottom.
No.
Hey, chat, make that a to-do.
Chat.
Yeah, and now chat like reads through the podcast and says our to-do. So if
This
you ever
is
hear
basically
that,
a meeting that we're going to have minutes about.
Okay, Loom, love it. You guys said something there about the TSA pre-check thing. I would say this isn't really software, okay? This is the only category of expense I know how to put this in is like this stuff. We each have this credit card that's totally not necessary for us to have, but it's really nice for us to have.
Is it the one with the unlimited credit limit?
That's a lot of American Express's cards. We've got a couple of those, but I would say this was a splurge for us. But it's because we are traveling more, and this.
Yeah, we travel all the time. No,
Don't do that to him. He's being.
We got
honest.
a lot of travel teed up, bro.
we got some on the books.
Okay,
We're origin bound this year, baby.
this card is like $500 a year per card,
Jeez.
but it gets you clear. It gets you TSA pre. It gets you lounge access. It gets
Oh,
you
that's silver, John?
Yeah, it gets you a bunch of
I already lost
it gets you a bunch of like points back whenever you spend it saves you money. Like I booked you guys flights
Aw.
to somewhere, and the points that I spent, because you get this card, you instantly get 35% of the points you spent back.
Aw.
Yeah, that's great.
So it's like if you're playing that game, it saves you
can't-
money.
you
And I
can't
play
not
the
do
credit
it.
card points game. So anyways, that was an aside. But American Express Business Platinum, love it.
Yeah. Can I just say one more thing about Loom really quick?
Oh,
Here we go.
So just to
Loom's
really
done, dude.
yeah.
to really bring it home for our listeners,
Thank you.
if you're a coffee shop owner, why not get a Loom account and record like 3 different videos? One of them is how to get set up on your scheduling app for your employees. Ethan, why don't you do this? Okay. Where you're like just showing people how to get onboarded. Here's how to use your scheduling app. Here's how to
put in a time off request.
time off request. Hey, this is important, blah, blah, blah. Like, why not just put that in your onboarding deck?
Here's how to log your PTO requests.
Right. For your employees. And that is a classic thing
chat,
of like,
clip that.
yeah, clip that, chat.
I'm gonna need that.
Yes, you could explain it in person, but it's like, are you really going to remember to do that every time? You know, you could just have some Looms.
Okay. Next one, that's a love it because it's totally not necessary because you could do this for free. QR code generator. Anytime we need a QR code, it's here. And you get to see a bunch of statistics of like how many times it was scanned over what period of time, et cetera. And then all your QR codes just live in the same place in like in folders. It's like $200 a year.
QR code generator.
I think a coffee shop owner would use that.
Yeah. If you use QR codes a lot, and like guys, I don't know if I told you. I don't know if I've said it on the program. I just ordered a new round of custom boxes. QR codes on the bottom.
Oh, wow. Now we can go back to reviewing coffees again because we did what we wanted. Hey,
Yes.
if you want us to review your coffee, send it on into the Valor Coffee Podcast.
Oh, yeah.
That's big.
Congratulations.
Smash like for QR codes on our boxes finally.
Yes. All right. I want to take a quick moment to talk about something we kind of brushed by, but it's website stuff, and it's specifically search engine optimization.
SEO?
Yeah.
SEO, baby. And we are really seeing the fruits of dialing in our SEO, like big time.
Definitely.
I think just, rough numbers. About a month ago, before we launched our new catering page, we were probably seeing a couple leads a day. Yeah.
Yeah, I would say like maybe 1 per day or less.
Yeah. And now I think yesterday we had 5, 6,
Yeah.
7 leads.
Yeah.
8.
Yeah. So that is a big difference. And we can attribute literally all of that to our friends Localize.
That's right.
And how they have really helped us dial in our SEO, especially in terms of the local aspect of things. When someone searches coffee catering near me and they're around here,
That's right.
we're popping up. So if you would like to partner with Localize, especially with your coffee shop or cart business, then do it and you'll get a free backlink. Backlinks are usually about a $300 value. They help you a ton in your SEO ranking. So just go to localizegrowth.com/valor. That link is below and they will get you going.
Do you want to give a little foretaste of the conversation we were having earlier about someone who knows their stuff about SEO and catering, and they looked at ours and they said,
Yeah, you basically said it, but
He said the whole thing.
Take it on, Russ.
yeah, there's someone that we're going to be having on the podcast later this month who is a catering czar, if you will, a catering lord, icon. And he's been helping us out with our operation some, and he's really big on SEO as like the key thing you need to focus on to grow your catering business. He looked at our page, like you said, Ethan, and he was like, man, whoever set this up did a really awesome job. So that kind of meant a lot to me and was validating.
In fact, he even said most SEO experts don't know what they're doing, but these guys do.
That's right.
Wow.
How about that?
Yeah.
I think I'm getting emotional.
Localizegrowth.com/valor.
Proud of you.
All right. Next one we have, it's question mark.
Uh-oh.
We're kind of in our question mark era here. Market Man.
Market Man. Da-ba-doo-ba-doo-ba-boop-ba-boop.
This is mine and Ethan's month-long January project.
Yeah, and it's like gonna be done at the end of January.
Yeah, it's gonna be done.
It's gonna be done.
It's gotta be done.
Gotta be done.
So Market Man is, how can I say this? Let me tell you guys how we've been doing things. And those of you who are running dialed in larger companies are going to be like, idiots. And then those of you who are running similarly sized or smaller companies are going to be like, wait, that's the wrong way of doing things. And I get it. So we have been in our cafes purchasing. We've been doing it the right way in the roastery. I'll say that. We've been doing it the right way for a long time. In our cafes, whenever we purchase something, cups, coffee, milk, etc., we instantly book it in our QuickBooks as cost of goods sold. In multiple categories, there's a coffee one, there's a,
packaged beverages, milk. Just coffee tea.
It gets split out. But anyways, now we are going to book all of our expenses as inventory assets. And then we're going to review our sales at the end of the month and transfer, depending on what we sold and the cost of those items, to cost of goods sold. So that gives you a better, and then you can see any discrepancies whenever you do your final inventory count and be like, oh, that wasn't sold, but it's gone. So therefore, what happened to it?
It was stolen and someone's getting fired. Boom.
Or it's waste. And it helps you just dial in your system and get a much more accurate representation of your profit.
Yeah, financial clarity.
Yeah, we're big on that at the top of 2025.
Yeah, it's just really hard to make decisions about, can we afford this? Can we do this? What's our goal when we just don't know what's coming in?
Can we
what's going on?
afford the pro version of Zapier? Can we not?
Right. Yeah, inventory management software, an IMS, some people are saying. Me.
That's what they say.
Yeah.
Okay.
Who knows what IMS actually stands for? It's probably crazy.
There's a lot of, and that, we'll get to another one, but like there's some stuff where it's just like a lot of data entry. And I'm like, I wish someone else, a technology could do this.
Yeah.
But we're trying to find that line. But yeah, it should be good. It's more work, I think.
And I think what got me onto this when I found Market Man was we have this spreadsheet that shows our true cost of our products. It's basically just a recipe costing spreadsheet.
Yeah.
But doing that in a spreadsheet versus a program, the mappings, every time you export your sales every month, they get broken a lot or outdated.
Bless you.
And we were running into that, so we just wouldn't use it, and then we wouldn't stay on top of it. So we're going to give Market Man a try, and I think we're going to like it. Heck, I think we might even love it.
I think we might gotta have it. And Methodical is the login page background, so it's like
Their coffee shop
is
the picture on the website.
Like, okay, so we're on the right track.
They must use Market Man.
We're not sure.
We need to get Will back on the pod and ask
not
him.
sure about that.
Okay,
All right.
next one. You said like it.
Wait, how much is Market Man?
Oh, it's a lot. It's like $200 per month per location.
Oh,
Yeah, it's brutal.
So it's like, will we save more?
Will we save more?
We don't know.
This next one, you said like it. You said love it. I say absolutely gotta have it. We've talked about it a lot already. It's ChatGPT.
yeah, chat. We call it chat.
Call him Chat. Yeah.
He is chat. Well, and that's revealing of our lines of work.
That's
and
right.
Our usage.
That's right. I have ChatGPT open on my computer literally at all times. And I probably use it. I don't know. I use it a lot during the day. And I talk to it a lot on my way home about business ideas and just I'll have a conversation with it about a thought that I have. And then at the end, I'm like, make this into a palatable note.
Do you talk to ChatGPT more than you talk to your wife?
And that's what we're really getting into on this episode.
No, I don't.
Jerk.
That's funny.
But yeah, and especially on the code side of things, I wouldn't
Yeah.
know how.
The coding stuff's crazy.
Yeah, it's cracked.
Yeah.
Like, write me a code for.
Yeah, I say write me a code.
Okay, jerk.
But yeah, essentially like that.
Yeah.
Let me look back on some of my past chats with chat. Well, I was asking about the injury report for the Hawks versus the Suns last night.
Did it work?
Oh, dude. Okay. This was my favorite. One of my hallmark highlights with chat recently.
Yeah.
Was I told chat, I said, chat, listen to my conversation with Ethan about
I did not approve of this.
a video idea. At the end of the conversation, create create 3 proposed outlines based on our conversation for a video. So Ethan and I just riffed right here, but at this bar about some video ideas. And we're just like BSing about some ideas. And then it made this really awesome outline about that conversation. So that's how I like to use it, where it's I hate doing that kind of stuff. I hate like typing out outlines for
Point number 1.
yeah, for videos. I guess I just don't like doing that. And so, but it allows me to focus on other things, and it made a really good outline, and we used it.
Yeah, that stuff is awesome. Like you were talking about earlier, feeding it a transcription of any meeting and getting meeting notes. If you have a business, I mean, it's just so invaluable because you can just feed it a ton of your data and be like, make this into like something that's like easy and understandable, or like make this like tell me where we can improve this system, or like even give me 15 marketing ideas. It's not very good with that in terms of coffee because it's really cheesy with coffee things, which is funny. But another practical thing is one day we were installing some lights in this headquarters, and we got to a part where we were just like super stumped, and I just talked to chat for like, I don't know,
A while.
2 hours.
Yeah.
And it took a long time, but without chat, we would have never figured it out.
Yeah. Or we would have had to hire an electrician.
Yeah.
Which costs a lot of money.
Yes.
And that's why we did it ourselves. I don't know if we've talked about that before. You get a quote for $6,000 to do some work, and you're like, darn it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We can do this.
So another area of chat, and this is the reason that we pay a lot for chat per month, talking about expense reporting and Expensify, I created a GPT. His name is Eric. Expense reporting is cool. And our entire team uses Eric if they have any questions about their receipts and how they should be categorized, because Eric knows how we do our books because I told him. And
Eric could betray us.
And so Ethan will be like, how do I categorize milk? And under our new system, Eric knows you categorize milk as beverage inventory.
I love you, Ethan.
Yeah.
I love you too, Eric. Whatever.
Totally.
Jeez.
And so, yeah, because of that, we pay, since a bunch of our team members use it, $240 a month for ChatGPT.
Yeah.
So
You can also, you can use it as a research tool, but then when it tells you answers, you can tell it to tell you the answers in the form of a country song or in Old English or in Gen Z slang. And I like to kind of spice it up.
and that's why you use it.
And it's just kind of adds some spice to the workday.
All right, we have a lot to go here.
ChatGPT, love it.
Gotta have it for me.
Gotta have it. We're back.
But like it, love it, gotta have it. It's all. It's a little
Covers
something
all the
for everyone.
bases.
All right, next up, and gotta have it. There's two sides to this. One of them is Heartbeat, the platform that the Valor Coffee community is on, and then the other side is the Valor Coffee community.
Yeah.
Heck, both of those, gotta have it.
Come
Gotta
on.
have it.
Yeah.
That's it.
I think as a cafe owner, the two things you can get from the VCC are connecting with other people in your situation that own coffee shops, bounce ideas off them.
Yeah.
I think once you start doing stuff like that, you kind of like see the value in it, and then you got to keep doing it. Like,
We didn't really do that for a while.
right. Yeah. But just
Now we're obsessed.
knowing you have that resource, like you really start to lean on it in a good way, that's a community now that I think about it. And the other side of it is the resources we have on there, like our Barista 101 course. Once you have that as a part of your onboarding process for your employees to go through Barista 101, like then you got to have it.
Yeah.
Because it takes so much off of your plate to have a resource like that. And it's been really fun to have.
Yeah. And let me just tell you right now, it's the cheapest. The Valor Coffee community is the cheapest piece of software so far on this list. How about that?
That's right.
Wow.
Because, I mean, we don't pay for the Valor Coffee community because we own it,
That's just true.
but it's what, $7.99 a month?
Yes.
So that's pretty nuts.
That's cheaper than Microsoft Office.
Yeah, that's true. So, well worth it, in my opinion. And it supports the program.
It does.
Yeah.
It does.
If you care at all about Grayson, then you'll subscribe to the Valor
Yeah.
Coffee
He has a
community,
kid too.
right?
So
Yeah. How about that? Gotta have it.
What's your gotta have it?
Heartbeat's $120 a month. The platform that powers it.
a small price to pay.
Small price to pay.
You gotta do your animation.
Gotta have it.
Good.
All right. Next up, gotta have it. I'm just gonna go through the entire stack of how we take in money. Okay.
Nice.
You got Square, you got Shopify, you got Recharge, you got Flash Quotes, you got Stripe. Okay.
Yeah. We use all them.
We use a lot of channels to make money. And just to be clear, these are by far and away the most expensive things on this list
Yeah.
because of merchant processing fees.
Oh,
Yeah. I looked at Square last month. It was like $6,000 between our two locations of merchant processing fees.
that's a chunk.
They're making a killing over there.
That's right. That's right. But you got to have it.
You gotta
yeah.
have it.
You got to have it. You could go different directions, but, frankly, I'm happy with Square. I'm happy with Shopify. Really got to have it. Just hit on this real quick. We didn't have subscriptions for our coffee for a long time.
Yeah.
What were we thinking?
We weren't. I'll tell you that.
Well, we always wanted to have them, but we didn't know how.
Yeah. And it was like, we have a custom website. So it was like
Yeah.
money involved. I think, and it was like a little above my head because ChatGPT didn't exist at that point.
If chat
Wow.
existed at that time,
I would have just done it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
But-
Recharge powers our subscriptions.
Yes.
Yeah.
And so integrating Recharge into our website, I think I paid a web developer a few $1,000s to get that going. Heck, maybe even like 10 to get things all teed up. And I mean, the amount of our income that's from subscriptions now is
it's a big percentage.
Pretty wild. So
thank you to all you subscribers out there. Appreciate it.
Gotta have it. And then Stripe is how we get money from the VCC and from Flash Quotes.
Yeah.
But Flash Quotes, hit on that for a second. That's pretty new for us, but we're loving it.
Yeah. Flash Quotes is kind of like a one-stop shop for your catering business, for our catering business we use. Everything from lead intake, like they have a form you can embed on your website, to invoicing, to planning the event, team communications, and more that I'm not even thinking of. But it's the kind of thing that will replace like 3 different spreadsheets that you were using to do something. You know, it will replace if you're using QuickBooks for invoicing catering clients. Like it replaces a bunch of stuff, and for it to all be on one program is really awesome.
Yeah.
I've really been enjoying using it.
If you're intrigued right away, then you can go ahead and go to flashquotes.com/valor and sign up through that link, and that helps the program.
Yep.
Yeah, bub.
All right. Ross, this one's for you, buddy. Oh, wait. Nope. Sorry. This one's for us. QuickBooks.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Gotta have it.
You gotta have it.
I think we didn't set up QuickBooks on day one. I think we set it up like 4 months later after we actually started our business. And, you know, I didn't know how to bookkeep, so I did a lot of things wrong. But
come on, man.
You gotta have QuickBooks. You gotta keep your books. Gotta keep them in sort. That's what I wish I would have done differently. Is I wish, even if it was out of pocket, I should have gone to like a workshop for bookkeepers and accountants, so that our books would have been really right from the very, very get-go.
Oh, if we just had a time machine. Oh.
Just go back in time.
Take that workshop.
Yeah. QuickBooks, gotta have it. Monday, Ross.
Monday is a work management and CRM software. I don't use it for work management, but I do use it as a CRM. And, you know, can I just be vulnerable for a second?
Sure.
It's so dang easy to forget details about customers that you're working with or leads that you are talking to. And it just helps you remember all that stuff, and it can notify you to follow up. And it like I've been saying this on this whole program, it allows you to focus on the right things, and focus on the human elements. But yeah, it just has every single thing that there is to know about all of our customers. Ideally, almost every conversation we've had can get documented in the CRM. Using automation for that makes it a lot easier. But so with a product like with a CRM or something like that, the price on that was $600 something for a year, right? And so this week, actually, I've started to look on Monday.com's YouTube channel and watch all of their videos about the CRM. And that is something I've been thinking this whole program as well, is when you have all these different programs or softwares that you're paying for, you need to try to utilize them to the most you can.
Yeah.
You need to understand them. And it's like, if you're paying for it and you're just barely scratching the surface, you're not getting the most value out of it. But it takes time. It takes time to learn all the benefits that you can get from using a software, especially one like a CRM, because there's just possibilities are kind of endless. Or like Notion, when it's just a vast expanse in front of you of the possibilities that you can use with this app. It's analysis paralysis. So watching those YouTubes, though, they have these YouTubes. That's funny. They have all these basically webinars that they've had over the years, showing people how to use Monday. And it's I don't really enjoy watching those webinars, but it is very valuable use of time to really understand how to use something like that.
Yeah, Monday, $600 a year.
How much was QuickBooks?
QuickBooks, it depends. I think it can range anywhere from like 20 to 100. I think most of our accounts are like 60 a month. We have multiple because we have multiple businesses, but it's like $60 a month.
Okay.
That's also how, we pay contractors through QuickBooks. We pay like ACH bills through QuickBooks, for our green coffee and stuff.
Do we run payroll through QuickBooks?
We use QuickBooks Payroll. That's another thing. That makes it way more expensive. That makes it like $500 a month. But
ew.
Yeah.
$500 a month?
That's just payroll processing, dude. It's
Jeez.
expensive. We got a lot of employees.
Goodness.
Yeah.
We're just selling coffee.
It's just Java. Can't we just pay in cash?
All right. Next up, Todoist.
Oh,
We're all on the same page about this one. This is a
Got it.
This is a gotta
have. Let's all
for
three do
all
it.
of us.
Gotta have Todoist.
Yeah.
It's a to-do app.
that's it.
The reminders app on Apple products, Ethan, Apple, right? It has gotten really good. Like it's kind of like catching up with Todoist in my mind.
You can put things in as plain text now, and it converts.
Correct. Right? And there's a widget that you can put right on your screen of like your top tasks to do for that day, which is really nice. So I've thought about changing to reminders, but yeah, it's just a to-do app. Yeah. And I think we talked about this before on the program, but Riley, you've done a great job of whipping us into shape on these sort of things. And you've talked about the second brain.
It's all second brain.
Second brain. So you've got your main brain that's focusing on running your business or like interacting with your guests or like helping your employees in a certain way. But your second brain is basically like your phone.
Yeah, you got to drain the main brain.
Right.
Yeah.
You do. You need to allow space for your main brain to operate and focus on the things that you need to focus on. And if you don't put a task into your second brain, it's just not going to get done.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, there's 1,000 examples, but even now, and when I'm doing health checks, which is a very personal thing, right? We're like talking about everybody's life. And sometimes there's these things of like, man, I really wish we could just do this. Or like, hey, can you get this for the team? Or like, hey, can we pick a day for this? I'm like, yeah. Beep, boop, beep, boop, boop. All right, I will do it. Like it is logged. It has been logged for me to accomplish.
Yeah.
But, and that lets me kind of turn that off and not think about how I need to do something. And so I can focus on that person.
Yeah.
And give them the attention that they deserve. Oh. And then, because it's another thing to like be like a no tech or low tech person. But if you can't like follow through on all these things that people are asking of you, it's
it's having the opposite effect that you want.
Yeah.
Yeah. My favorite thing about Todoist is you can just type what you're thinking and AI will convert that into what you wanted it to be.
Yeah.
So like you can just say, you can type in there like every third Tuesday of the month, Joey health check. And then it'll do it. It'll put it on your calendar and you can sync it to your calendar too.
Like at 2 p.m. for 1 hour and it'll be perfect.
Yeah.
Yeah. And that's how I use it. I don't know if you guys use it this way. I have it synced with my calendar. So all those times show up as blocks. It's like my calendar and my to-do app are one thing.
That's sharp.
It's really, really nice. So like I just opened my Todoist. It's like podcast prep, 7 to 7:30 a.m. Podcast, 7:30 to 9:15 a.m. And then like all these things. And then haircut, 10:45. I've got a haircut at 10:45, guys, just so you know.
Hey, we got an all staff tonight. You got to look good.
Got to look good.
We're also going to be like working for the next 15 hours.
Yeah. And that's why Valor's paying for my haircut.
That's
too.
right.
Yeah.
Yeah, as it should.
So
you got a big day
Todoist, you got to have it. This now is our new winner for cheapest software so far, which is insane. But it's $5 a month. There is a free version. I can't remember what the paid version gets you.
I feel like I have the free version.
Me too.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
And I'm sorry.
I got to see what the paid version gets you guys because it might change your lives.
Because I don't think it syncs to my calendar.
Oh, it's probably integrations. Wait, but yours...
Maybe I do
Zapier.
have the free.
I
Or
think you
sorry,
got the paid.
maybe I do have the paid.
Because you use Zapier.
Because I can't do a lot of things.
You should upgrade.
Mine's like a glorified notes app.
This is a funny thing. You get to see some dynamics here where I'm just like, bro,
But
if you see any limitation to something like that, it's so cheap. Why don't you just do it?
I'm an adaptable guy, and I need to learn when I don't need to.
I just want you to feel empowered.
Oh, Riley, thank you. You're breaking off the chains right now.
All right, we gotta move. We gotta move.
I'm gonna fly today, baby.
So scheduling apps for your employees' time at work, for scheduling their shifts.
And some people don't do this.
Some people don't do it. Some people put it in the back on a spreadsheet. Lots of people do it that way. Heck, I had multiple jobs where it was that way.
Some people like email it out or like text it out.
Yep.
That's okay.
So we traditionally, as in to today's our last day, using When I Work. I'm sure many of you are familiar with it. We're moving to 7 shifts.
Sorry, When I Work.
When I Work is kind of a more broad, like I think a lot of different industries use it. 7 shifts is very restaurant specific. Has a lot of really good tip pooling integrations. That's gonna kind of change how we run payroll and the simplicity of our flow of systems. It's gonna be nice.
Version is.
Yeah. So I have it and gotta have it. We can't give 7 shifts the endorsement yet because we haven't used it, but it's looking pretty good.
It's clean. I was transferring data over and just like the speed, the ease, the maybe even a little AI integration as far as like, oh, I see you've been scheduling these shifts a lot. You want to just like copy paste. You want to do a little bit of this. I'm like, When I Work was a little more like maybe they made it in 2014 and they're happy with their product kind of thing.
Totally.
No offense.
Yeah, it worked. But it was like kind of the bare bones.
It's a little clunkier.
Yeah. But When I Work, I think we paid $700 a year. 7 shifts is going to be like $700 per year per location.
Okay. Okay.
Comment below your favorite scheduling app for your coffee shop. And while you're down there, smash like.
Oh, yeah. All right. We are running so short on time. I can knock out several of these really quick.
There's several more.
Yes.
Oh my gosh.
Adobe.
Oh, okay.
Gotta have it. If you are an owner, I'm going to say this. If you are a coffee shop owner, you probably got to learn. One of the owners has to learn a little bit about the design process and like how to use Illustrator.
For menus, for stuff like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Learn it a little bit. It's expensive. It's $70 a month for the Adobe Suite. But I mean, I'm in it either Illustrator, Photoshop, or Lightroom. Literally for a long time, every single day.
It's a good example of a skill you should add to your tool belt so that you don't have to pay a designer to do really simple things.
Yes, exactly. Complex things, totally. But like, you got to make a little tweak. You got to know how to get in there and make the change. Final Cut. It's like, I can't remember, $300, $400, $500 like one time. And then you can edit using Final Cut forever. So Final Cut. Figma. That's another one that I use, especially for like web design stuff. You can use it for other things too. Anything design related. It's $20 a month. I'm not going to talk too much about it. Buzzsprout. All these are gotta have it's, okay? Gotta have it. They're gotta have it because I gotta have it. And I'm sorry. Sorry, guys.
Hey,
I gotta have it.
It's y'all thing. Do what you gotta do. I can't tell you whose side I'm on.
Buzzsprout is how we host our podcast.
Thank you, Buzzsprout.
We gotta have it because we gotta host a podcast somewhere.
That's right.
We could totally just move it to Spotify, and I think that we eventually will because they didn't have hosting whenever we first started it. Okay, we're probably gonna move it.
Rogan made that
stay
switch.
nimble.
So
sorry, Buzzsprout. Here's one we can all talk about: Basecamp.
team communications, project management.
User
I didn't give the
friendly.
money rundown on any of those. I'm sorry. Adobe, $70 a month. Oh, sorry. Figma, $20 a month. Buzzsprout, $24 a month. I think that was all.
Yeah, this stuff adds up, man.
Yeah.
I'm thinking we should just kind of go back to the basics. What do you think?
Pen to paper, baby. That's right.
Basecamp's huge though.
Yep.
I do love it for the project stuff, assigning to-dos to people, all of our announcements for our cafes. Whenever, like on my end of things, we have a team that is just the warehouse team here. And whenever there's an order change for like a wholesale partner has a special request, I put it in Basecamp instead of texting them. It just replaces all that and puts it all in one place.
I think it's a team one-stop shop. You know, a lot of stuff you guys have been talking about is like your work, your niche. But when it comes to people working at the HQ and people working in the cafes, all they got to do is clock in somehow, i.e. 7 shifts. And then they can check Basecamp for events, documents,
Recipes for stuff.
recipes, like emails via message boards. You don't have to check your email, like chat features. You don't have to like text work people. You can direct message work people. It's all it's very like it's for the people.
It's huge.
And is it still $99 a month?
It went up. It's $119 a month now. Pretty sure.
I mean, it takes care of a lot of our needs.
Yeah.
Gotta have it.
It's true.
Gotta have it.
It's well worth it. It's funny. I feel like our like leadership team, mainly us, just because we use Notion for some things, it's like you almost stop using it as much. But for the pick crew member, they don't really. I mean, sure, I want them to have it for their personal well-being. They don't need Todoist. We can just put to-dos in Basecamp, you know?
Yeah.
Whereas check-ins.
When we have a ton of admin work, we might want to like kind of split it out, you know?
Yeah.
I'm going to do another speed round real quick because we don't have to talk about a lot of these too much. Amazon Prime Business. Gotta have it.
Yeah.
$500 a year.
Yeah.
Domain names. Gotta have domain names.
Yeah.
Sure.
For every domain you have, it's like $20 a year. Fresh KDS.
Kitchen display system.
Kitchen display systems. It's how we don't have to print tickets for our drink items.
We love the idea of using that tech.
Yeah.
It's sometimes a little choppy. You were doing some tweaks on our Wi-Fi. It did work smoothly. Dunwoody has 3 tablets showing orders, and our third just has failed to connect, like communicate, because the idea is you pay for a premium that gives you screen communication. You click one thing, it affects it all. Only 2 talk to each other. The third, it's pretty seamless in Alpharetta. Square offers a kitchen display system, but in June of 2025, they will no longer be supporting iPads. So if we wanted to switch, we would need to
Go Android.
We would need to get an Android tablet, and that's tough.
Yeah.
Dare I say it's not happening?
Says the guy with a Google phone.
Yeah, like
All right. Gotta have it though. Gotta have fresh KDS.
dude,
It's huge.
tickets on the counter.
You can track your ticket times. We should be way
Yeah.
more in the weeds on those analytics.
Well, Dunwoody would be an absolute because
it's messed up.
So yeah, but
totally.
when it's working, you can.
But it turns yellow whenever it starts to age after like 2 minutes or whatever.
Yeah.
And then it turns red if it's over 5 minutes.
And you can customize.
You
those
can
times.
customize all in the
those.
settings.
Yeah, in the settings.
Dropbox. It's how we share our files.
Thanks, Grayson.
Mainly with Grayson, honestly.
Why isn't he paying for it?
Yeah. Well, he does pay for it. That's
He
the
pays
thing.
for his side.
Oh, he pays for his.
Dropbox
Grayson.
is so expensive. It's so expensive for what it is. They got a thing going on over there. $60 a month.
They got a thing going on over there.
It's like $60 a month.
Holy crapola!
Yeah.
Sorry, pardon my
And then
French.
G Suite. It's the Google stuff. Email,
Is it free?
Drive. No. It's like $75 a month to have a custom domain email for all of our emails. So it's really not that bad if I think about it. But
You can have a lot
gotta
of
have it.
emails.
Guys,
through the cap.
Guys, if you're not using a calendar, you need to use a calendar. Can I just say that? At some point,
That's like when you grow up.
I was about to say, at some point, you got to grow up
Yeah.
and get stuff out of your brain.
Clear out your inbox on your email too.
Relying on the human memory to do anything is a bad move. So, calendar invites, man, it's time to up the professionalism
Yeah. Heck, speaking of calendar invites, let's talk about Calendly.
Yeah.
Oh,
Whew, there's a major guy to have it. Calendly. So basically, you can send someone a link and then they can sign up for a spot on your calendar to do whatever. You can connect to your Zoom. That's how I use it. When I do Zoom calls with anybody that reaches out to us for wholesale, send them the link instead of like going back and forth of like, hey, when could work for you? And they're like, oh, this time. And then I respond, I'm like, hey, actually, I'm busy during that time. When else could work for you? Like that's a lot of communication. Calendly just takes away all that.
wow.
Love it. Heck, gotta have it.
Gotta have it.
You mentioned Zoom. How about Zoom? Calendly is $10 a month per user, pretty much.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Zoom's huge. I use it every day, all the time. Like I said, I've really been enjoying the AI side of it, where it can summarize calls. Yeah, it's way better to do a Zoom call with someone face to face, like through a computer screen, than like on a phone call. I think.
Yeah, it's $16 a month per user,
and that way you don't have to give out your cell phone number to anyone and everyone that reaches out to you. You can just give them the Zoom link.
I mean, you want to, but corporate policy.
Right.
Totally. All right. I think we got two more. Tally. Tally is how it's a form builder where you can embed the form on your website. And then we have a lot of cool connections specifically with our wholesale form, where once those get placed, we can run automations based off of those, including putting the contact into Monday CRM.
I like having a form on the website instead of just having an email on the website saying like, hey, email us.
Yeah.
Email us if you're interested to book the cart. Email us if you're like, it's way better to have a form that you fill out. It auto populates, and I think you're going to get better conversion rates, more leads through that.
Gotta get a hiring form on the website.
Yeah.
We really do.
Another example of that.
Yep. And then we could run automations based off of that. Hello.
Yes.
All right. Last one, newsletters. We've always used MailChimp, and we are moving to Klaviyo just because it's better integrated with Shopify. Newsletters for businesses like ours, where we have an e-commerce side, they are one of the most neglected but powerful things you can possibly do.
Are you serious?
Yes, absolutely.
Wow.
This guy's serious.
It's pretty much like if we just hired someone to do newsletters all the time, they would probably pay for themselves with our current audience. So if you have a business where you're trying to sell products online, then you should probably start upping your newsletter game. The statistics are crazy.
You can get chat to write the newsletters.
That's the thing. It's like so many people put so much attention to their Instagram because they like, at some point someone was like, this is what you should do.
Yeah.
But like, if you want to like guaranteed be in front of eyeballs, like you can't guarantee anything with the Instagram algorithm.
Sure.
You can guarantee something with newsletters. And like through thick and like MySpace, Facebook, like they come in, Instagram, they come and go. But email stays relevant.
It's a stalwart.
Yeah, totally.
So well said.
We're done. That's it.
Hope that was helpful to you
sorry,
guys.
Not sorry.
It was kind of like a little nauseating thinking about how much all that costs, but I stand by everything.
There's something to this is not a super high profit business. We can't afford to just bring on a lot of people.
Exactly.
We have to look at ourselves and our work and our task load and say, how can we get the most help possible to get this stuff done?
Yes.
And the people that we have that are working off bar, how do we get them working as smart as possible so they can get the most done? They can get the most bang for their buck.
The newsletter stuff is like $175 a month. I don't think I mentioned that. And
thanks for saying that.
One tally is like 25. Don't think I mentioned that. So another thing is like a lot of this explanation is like, this is why businesses tend to scale, because if we were one coffee shop, we wouldn't be able to do this.
Right.
We can only do this because we split a lot of this across three businesses.
Maybe like 4 when there's a more sustainable catering hub.
Yeah, exactly.
You know?
So it's like, we would definitely be, and we were a lot more skinny with all this. But now it's like, Amazon Prime business at $500 a month is then split into thirds. So 166, 66.
Right.
$500 a month is crazy for that, dude.
500 a year.
You did say month, and
Did
I got
I?
scared.
You said month.
And
Oh
then
my
you,
God.
Then you said year.
How would that ever make sense?
No. It's 500 a year.
Yeah.
All right.
I wonder if I actually did say per month.
Good thing this is
You
recorded.
just did.
You just did, but I don't know about the first time.
But I think the first time you said year.
It's 2 against 1, bro. You said it.
Grayson,
You
help me
said
out,
it,
bro.
Month.
All right, we got to wrap. Hope this was good.
We got to have you
I know
guys
it was maybe kind of boring, but
helpful for the right people.
The real
Yeah.
ones will appreciate it.
totally. Comment your favorite piece of software below.